Welcome to my channel. I'm Rob. I'm going to read in the King James Version in the Old Testament. What are we reading about Sister Mary? We're going to start John 11, 1 through 45. Jesus raises Lazarus. Now a certain man was sick, Lazarus of Bethany, the town of Mary and her sister Martha. It was it was that Mary who anointed the Lord with fragrance oil and wiped his feet with her hair. His brother Lazarus was sick. Therefore sister sent to him, saying, Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. When Jesus heard that, he said, the sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it. Now Jesus loved Martha and her sisters and Lazarus. And when he heard that he was sick, he stayed 2 more days in a place where he was. Then after this, he said, disciples, let us go to Judah again. The disciple says to him, Rabbi, lately the Jews sought to stone you, and you are going there again? Jesus answered, There are not 12 hours in the day. If anyone walks in the day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But if one walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. These things he says, and after he says to them, our friend Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up. And the disciples said, Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well. However, Jesus spoke of his death, but they thought that he was speaking about taking rest and sleep. And Jesus said to him plainly, Lazarus is dead. I am glad for your sake that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him. Then Thomas, who is called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, let us also go, that we may die with him. So when Jesus came, he found that he had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away. And many of the new Jews had joined the woman around Martha and Mary to comfort the concerning the brothers. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Jesus was coming, went and met him. But Mary was sitting in the house. Now Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you had been there, our brother would not have died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. Jesus said to her, your brother will rise again. Martha said to him, I know that he will rise again at the resurrection at the last days. Jesus said to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, through he may die, he shall live. And he who lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said to him, Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, Son of God, who is to come into the world. And when she said these things, she went her way and secretly called Mary, her sisters, saying, the teacher has come and is calling for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and came to him. Now Jesus now Jesus not yet come into the town, but was in the place where Martha met him. And the Jews who were with her in the house and comforted her. When they saw that, Mary rose up quickly and went out following her, saying, she is going to the tomb to weep there. And when Mary came where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying to him, Lord, if you had been here, our brother would not have died. Therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaning in the spirit and was troubled. And he said, Where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. And the Jews said, see how he loved him. And then some of them said, "Could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying?" And Jesus, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb. It was a cave, and a stone laying against it. Jesus said, "Take away the stone." Martha's sisters of him who was dead said to him, "Lord, by the time there is a stench, for he has been dead for days." Jesus said to her, "Did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me. And I know that you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me." Now when he had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth." And he who had died came out bound hand and foot with grave cloths, and his face was wrapped with a cloth. Jesus said to him, "Loosen him, let him go." Then many of the Jews who had come to Mary had seen the things Jesus did. He believed in him. Believed in him. Sorry. Okay. Now we're going to go to John 12. John 12 is going to be 1 through John 12. Yeah, 1 through 9. Jesus rides into Jerusalem. Then 6 days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, who has been dead, who has raised from the dead. They are made him a supper. Martha served, but Lazarus was one of those who sat at the table with him. And Mary took a pound of very costly oil and sprinkled anointed the feet of Jesus and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the fragrance of the oil. But one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, who would betray him, said, "Why was the fragrance of the oil not sold for their 100 denarii and given to the poor?" Then he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief, and he had the money box, and he used to take what was put in it. Jesus said, let her alone. She has kept this for the day of my burial. For the poor you have with you always, but me you do not have always. Now a great many of the Jews that he was there, and they came not of Jesus' sake only, but by the by also has Lazarus. See Lazarus, who has raised from the dead. Okay, we're going to go to Luke 10. All right, Luke 10, 38, 42. Now it happened as they that we went that he had entered a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she approached him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Therefore tell her to help me." And Jesus answered and said to her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed. And Mary has chosen the good part which will not be taken away from her. All right, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. God bless.